Well, looks like round 4 is starting already for Backyard Brawl. I guess last night's match between Chica and Feathers was round 3. And looks like the players are going to be drafting soon. Over there. Looks like they are deciding the draft. Apparently, it's going to be champ21bell on the red side, bottom half of your screen, against Snake. Blue side, top half of your screen there. Looks like the players are just deciding whether. So it looks like Champ won the coin toss, but wants to actually pick second, so he wants the 2 picks. Looks like Snake has picked Ram. Champ has picked Faust and May. Snake going with the same team that he actually picked last week. Rounds out his team. Is it the same team? It's close. Yeah, Zato and Testament. I think these are actually just the 3 characters that he picked last week as well. Ram Lethal, Testament, and Zato. Champ, this is actually our first time casting Champ in this tournament. I think we casted him in Summer Bash, if I'm not mistaken. Tournament where he actually got top 8. But yeah, this is my first time seeing Champ in a Season 7 meta, so it should be an interesting match for sure. Snake we just casted like a couple days ago, honestly. And Champ rounds out his team with the Rachel. Okay, another Rachel player. Interesting. Who's going to be Ramacho's Testament Zato versus Rachel, Faust, and May. Rachel, of course, from the Blaze Blue set. You are allowed maximum 1 character from Season 5 or Season 6 or Season 4. Snake, of course, going with the all-season 7 team. Now, of course, they have to pick the order that they want to represent their characters. It doesn't matter if you win or lose. It's just looks like these guys have devised their own system for choosing the order. Don't see why you can't just use the bag, but we can type our order, then press 31 on the life when ready, then press enter. Sure. Snake's order is just ready, it looks like. Well, Snake's pink shot up there. Again, this is a best of 3. Okay, so looks like it's going to be May versus Ram Lethal, Rachel versus Zato, and then the kicker match, if it's played, will be Faust versus Testament. Okay. So May, I don't know if we casted May before. We have casted Ram Lethal before. We've actually just casted Snake's Ram Lethal even just a couple days ago. But I don't know if we've taken a look at May so far in this tournament. Maybe once or twice. Really, I'm just happy to see no Milia. We'll take a look at May here, though. When you initiate a strike, you may spend 1 force. If you do, +1 power. Don't use this side, though, because when she exceeds, she can spend 1 force for +2 power on backside, and that's just a ridiculous ability. This is a little bit of a brain dead character, in my opinion. Not really a whole lot to do besides strike a lot and hope you win your deltas, right? I mean, obviously it succeeds, so there's a little bit more strategy than that, but May's definitely one of the characters with a more simple game plan, I would say. take a look at the May kit here, because we actually have not looked at this before. Tatsugeki. We have a range 4 assault. Fast dive here. Looks like Champ is really putting these cards nice and close to each other. We have a Ursugawa Sparkle, which is 2-4 shape, technically a cross catcher at range 1, but I mean, it's on curve at range 4. It has a decent amount of armor on it. Mr. Dolphin is a dive shape that can also function as kind of a mid-speed, right? Because it gets up to 6 power, so it trades with sweep and focus, but it's only 4 speed. Good boost, though. We have a range 1 SPD shape, so ignore armor and ignore guard. I actually did not know May had this. It's been a while since I've looked at the May kit. And we have a sweep-like here. As far as our ultras are concerned, we have a counter attack ultra, looks like, for 3 gauge. It's pretty expensive. And I see most Mays opt for the exceed side over an ultra like this. And then we have like bad anchor call or bad erupt. And no one even uses erupt, right? Or was the erupt is the name of the boost on Mole Knight? What's the name of the attack? I don't remember. Anyway, and then Ram Lethal, of course, we just saw this character. Ram Lethal can spend 2 force to extend her range, her max range by 1. And then on backside, Snake is definitely a player that likes to exceed a lot with this character. On backside, gets a reload, so draws, 3 cards, I think. Does May get a reload? I don't remember. Honestly, it feels like the reloads in Season 7, or like the kickers on Season 7, are just a little bit... I say this a lot, but they just kind of feel like kind of randomly placed, so I'm not really sure if May gets a kicker or not. Ram Lethal gets kicker, and then, of course, gets additional max range and power. Looks like Snake just prepped, so we'll take a look at the kit here. We have a range 3 speed 7, range 3 speed 6 move. We have an above curve, range 4 option. Not really like a dive, but does close, but also pushes as well. Although you will generally see this used when the opponent's in the corner, just for the additional power. Really solid card here. We have an assault like. Not a whole lot of damage. Delayed explosion is a decent boost though. It looks like we see May initiate a strike here. Range 4. Options for May, of course, are the Tatsugeki, or the Ursugawa Sparkle, or dive. Tatsugeki above curve, Ursugawa Sparkle on curve, dive on curve, or it could just be bait, like a focus or sweep or block. As we said, we do expect this May player to kind of rush the exceed side. So I expect this just to be like a Tatsugeki or a dive or an Ursugawa Sparkle, not a bait. Ram Lethal does not spend force, and yeah, expects the Tatsugeki in response with sweep. Of course, sweep also beats the Ursugawa Sparkle and the dive. So it will be a 6-for-4 trade. May actually gets advantage off the Tatsugeki, jumps across off the sweep, and May gets advantage. So we are 1/3 of the way to that exceed side, that really potent exceed side. The rest of the kit for Ram Lethal, we have like a 1-4 sweep like. It functions like pretty well, like 3 or 4, I guess, because it dodges the slows. As we see Gatling boosted for May. You might have seen this boost on Ken before. I think a couple other characters have this boost as well. Maybe Ragna has this boost. Draw 2, hit gain advantage. So kind of makes Ram Lethal want to strike, right? Because if Ram Lethal doesn't strike, then May's probably just 100% going to strike and try to get value out of this hit gain advantage clause, right? Final card is the Salvado, which is like a 1 or 2 slow shape here. Our ultras are Calvados, which is a super sweep. We saw this card being used to great effect against chip, just being able to catch the chip dodges. As we see, Ram Lethal just boosts dash, no cancel, moves to range 1. May probably just gonna strike here. I mean, there's no real downside to striking with a slow here if you're May, I think. Or you can even just strike with a grasp and say, hey, I'm just gonna get my free gauge. I will trade down, but oh, it's gonna be May spending force for +1 power. This could be threatening like 7 power sweep. Could be pretty spicy. It is just 4 power grasp. Ram Lethal just blocks it. Ram Lethal gets tossed back to the short side of the board. 4 damage incoming. May gets advantage. I like that little mix up there. Threatening that 7 power sweep, but just playing the grasp. Looks like Snake just takes the 2 damage, does not spend force with the block. May gets advantage. She's down 1 cross, which is kind of the quote-unquote free option here at range 2. But she does have a whole lot of space behind her. She's on long side of board, so striking with a slow wouldn't be the worst thing in the world here. Even though you're at range 2, so obviously you're at risk of a defensive spike, but I'm not really sure if Snake's a defensive spike player. And it's going to be May boosting +1 power, +1 speed. Now draw 1. Really, really good boost here. Did Champ draw for end of turn? Don't know if he did. Maybe I'll just ask him. Okay, he did draw 2. Yeah, just want to make sure we're not missing anything dumb like that. So draws back up to 5. Has +1/+1. Looks like Ram Lethal going to area shift May to the corner. Will cancel. Actually chooses to cancel the block instead of the cross. And going to go ahead boost efficient. So this is a bit of a reload boost as well as the +4 guard. But mostly used for the reload, right? Snake spends 2 force in the form of the Mortabato. So spends 1 card, right? And this is not a card that Snake actually uses quite often. So spends 1 card and draws 5 alongside this boost. Puts May in the corner as well. May doesn't really have ways to cross over, right? All her advances are actually closes, right? So it doesn't have an innate way to cross over through a strike. We'll have to cross over with a boost or a move action. Excuse me, a walk action. That got changed. Well, I don't know where the card is. Yeah, there you go. We now decide to walk instead of move. It's going to be May boosting Blue Water, Blue Sky. One of those boosts that we were talking about. Move boost. +1 power. Now move 2. Gets out of the corner. And spends a force in the form of the Ultra. So overspends here. But striking with +2/+1. Pretty spooky. We do have both slashes up. That'll just be the on-curve option for May. That would make just the most sense. Because you can exceed afterward. Actually, no, you cannot exceed afterward because May used to cancel. It's going to be Ram Lethal just playing the above curve grasp, trying to beat out the assault, the slash, excuse me, and does so successfully, right? So Ram Lethal with the UA use can break the speed curve here. Champ says forgot about that. Unfortunately for May, this really sets her behind as far as her gauge economy is concerned, just because she spent a gauge to cancel on that strike as well, right? So May trying to make her slash on curve, but on curve is not good enough against Ram Lethal, who could just make all her normals above curve. Takes 3 damage for her troubles, gets pushed back to range 4. Doesn't get the advantage on it either. That's pretty brutal with May down to just 2 cards in hand, 1 engage. Pretty rough strike there, and pretty brutal thing to just forget about, right? Forgetting about the above curve the normals that Ram Lethal can throw. It's going to be Ram Lethal going to be boosting Impose. It's going to be close 1, draw 2. Can be cancelled. Snake thinks about the cancel. Takes a look at his discard. Let's see if Snake goes on the offensive here. Just in terms of raw cards, right? Up 6-2. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Snake cancel here. So we're just going to see Mei prep almost assuredly, right? Unless maybe Mei doesn't prep if she has like second slash or Tatsugeki in hand. But probably preps otherwise. And yeah, it's going to be canceled. Second action for Snake is going to be boosting Badass. Cancels it again, so now a 2 gauge expenditure here into a strike. Range 3 mix up here. It's going to be the on-curve dive. Mei just blocks. However, Mei doesn't really have a whole lot of force to work with. That's 6 damage incoming. Will Mei spend a card from hand and take the 2 to build gauge? Oh, actually, Mei has the Ultra in hand. Okay. So, unfortunately, that is a really good... That's probably your boost. That's probably your next turn gone, so Mei just has to prep. But Mei does build second gauge off that. Ram Lethal does spend 2 gauge, right, with that boost setup as well. As we see Flawless Defense come out for Ram Lethal. Back to Mei here. With only 2 cards in hand, like, maybe if you have a guaranteed strike, you're on long side of board, so your slows do more work. But I don't know if Mei can strike here. Again, I don't remember if Mei has a kicker or not. And yeah, Champ just decides to prep. Ram Lethal goes ahead and builds that 3rd gauge once more. Courtesy of the Flawless Defense. And is going to area shift Mei back into the corner once more. Surely cancels. Yep, cancels it. Because you can even cancel just Exceed here, right? If you're Ram Lethal. But no, it's going to be that delayed explosion. Now draw 2. And then that hit effect. It's pretty nasty. Of course, because the well, you can't get pushed farther into the corner. So you'll just take some extra damage instead. Both crosses are down for Ram Lethal here, but of course she does have that second copy of Grasp to which is like another above curve option. That Grasp would do 6 total damage here. Outside of that, she could technically have like an EX Bajonetto on curve. Dauro is also on curve. Although Dauro is at risk of counterattack. Bajonetto probably just beats everything. Back to Champ here. So again, still looking to build gauge number 3 here as Champ. Again, both these players, I believe, are 2-1 in the tournament, so they actually both have a chance of winning. There are only 2 3-0 participants left. They are Andrel and Chica, who are lined up against each other this week. So technically a 4-1 record can win the tournament. I don't know what the tie breaks are. I'll be honest, I didn't really read the rules or anything. But I'm sure the tie breaks are just like games or something, or maybe head-to-head, I don't know. But both these players are technically still in it with their 2-1 record. So this is kind of an elimination match, I guess is one way to look at it. We see Scramble cancel here for Mei. Wonder if this is going under curve with something like an assault or second slash maybe. And yeah, Ram Lethal has to wild swing, but can add range on the UA on the wild swing curse of the UA. Although range doesn't really do a whole lot, right? Unless you wild swing Grasp. Right, range actually does just nothing on this character unless you wild swing Grasp. There's 1 Grasp in here, I'm assuming. Right, because all these cards hit at range 2. So does Snake want to spend the 2 force for that second Grasp, I guess is the question. He's got 11 cards left in deck. Depending on how many ultras. Snake says yes, spends a gauge as well. And it's slash, just as we predicted. Snake wild swings focus though. So didn't need to spend the 2 force there. We'll hit it back for 4. We'll push Mei back to range 2. Of course, that was a scramble cancel, so Mei goes gauge neutral that strike. As the Snake. And we are just back in the same position that we were before, except May is down 2 cards in hand, and Snake is down 1 card in hand. So not really a big change there. It's gonna be Snake boosting that second copy of the delayed explosion, as May is still stuck in the corner. Now with a full hand, where's this card? The Mordobato is a real threat as well, right? 1 to 2, 6, 7 with the hit effect here. That's something that May has to be concerned about. Of course, Ram Lethal can just go slow as well. This is definitely not the place you want to be if you are May. Unfortunately, just kind of been playing on lowish resources for the past 15 minutes. Really hasn't had like a large hand size, and even that last strike cost 2 cards from hand, right? And then May just had to prep afterward with the advantage. Went gauge neutral as well. Let's try to center that. Should really have a hotkey for just centering it. And I feel like there is a hotkey, I just don't know what it is. So we just center it manually. I don't know, I've been doing this for what 130 Exceed commentaries or something like that. Still can't figure it out. Anyway, it's still May's turn here. May considering how to move forward from here. That's a pretty nasty boost. Both Slashers also down for May. It's like, oh, and both Tatsugeki's now down for May. Wow, May just spends 3 force to move out of the corner. I mean, probably a necessary evil, but wow, spends a gauge, spends a block from hand, and spends a Tatsugeki from hand just to get out of the corner. Well, hopefully Snake just doesn't just like strike with grasp here. We're gonna see the necessary discrepancy boosted. Return all cards from your gauge to your hand, take another action. So that's gonna be 2 crosses and a focus return to hand. And guess what? You're getting area shifted right back into the corner if you're May. Will get canceled. Wow. That's 4 area shifts. And now we're striking again. That's the second Mordobato down at least, but this is probably just striking with second cross. Could be mix-up, though. Could be mix-up city. It's not. It's just the cross. It's 5-power cross. Ram Lethal moves back to range 5. And big trouble. Wow. That's the first time I've seen a really, really, really impactful gauge recursion there. Recurring the EX cross with the necessary discrepancy. As May boosts Gatling just to reload here, but obviously she cannot hit at range 5. Her max range is 4, I believe. Yeah. However, Ram Lethal can hit at 5, right? With the Badgernato, with extended range, can hit at 5. The Calvados doesn't even need extended range to hit at 5. Aggressor Dono also does the trick. Builds a little bit of gauge as well. So Snake, yeah, almost assuredly just has to strike here. Spends 2 force in the form of block and slash. Strikes with +1 range, so probably just the Badgernato if that's a guess. Speed 5, 5 power. Does close 2, but I believe May is down both sweeps. So I mean, May can maybe respond with an anchor swing if she thinks it's the Badgernato. But again, this could be the Aggressor Dono, which would dodge a sweep as well. Can be the Calvados, which, I mean, it's probably not Calvados here, but it could be, I guess. And May is in big trouble here. Just has a wild swing. Yeah, Mr. Dolphin's definitely not going to cut it. Well, it is the Aggressor Ordono. So Mr. Dolphin will go first. We'll close 2. We'll miss, obviously, and then the Aggressor Ordono will hit back for 4. And build a couple gauge as well. Snake gets to pick his positioning as well. I'm sure he will probably almost assuredly retreat. Especially with both Tatsugekis down. And yeah, Ram Lethal retreats back to range 4. May probably has to move in again. Yeah, moves in courtesy of the Mr. Dolphin. Cancels it immediately, so +1 speed on this next strike. Range 3 mix-up, although both slashes are down, both Tatsugekis are down as well. So it's not really range 3 mix-up. This can assuredly just be countered by Snake. Like, surely Snake can outspeed this. Spends an Anchor Swing for +1 power on this. And yeah, Snake gonna be spending... Snake gonna be... not even spending, just playing EX Dauro. Okay. And yeah, that's a 7-speed option. Like, so many ways for Ram Lethal to break speed curve there. That's just one of them. And yeah, dive... 5-speed dive, unfortunately, is just not going to cut it into a Ram Lethal with all these resources. That's going to be 3 damage incoming. And Snake, of course, with all this gauge, probably just going to reload. Or with the Exceed, right? Yep, and there it is. When you Exceed, draw 3, so Snake has a full hand again. And unfortunately, this game is over. May boost badass. Okay, sure. There's something there. 2 in hand, 6 in deck. But no, this game is long gone. This game was probably over 10 minutes ago, if I'm being honest. Snake with 6 in hand, 1 in deck. I think there's a grasp in there for Snake as well. I believe Snake has not spent his second grasp. So that'll be, what, 4 damage for 3 after armor, I guess. And then Snake has to find 1 more stray hit. Into a May with only 2 cards in hand. Not even exceeded. It's just going to be a tech here. Snake reveals his hand. Can't copy, sorry. Snake reveals a hand of EX Focus, Dust, Grasp, and EX Bajonetto. Okay. Yeah. This game's over. Anyway, it's going to be May boosting Let's Rock. Draws a couple cards. Don't think May's hitting, but maybe there's a second focus left for May, actually. Maybe May has a second focus left. I know she spent 1 for Scramble Cancel. Did she spend both of them for Scramble Cancel, actually? I can't remember. But yeah, the setup here, obviously, just grasp into EX Bajonetto, and it's just like May has no force. I think May has no blocks either. Yeah, there are a lot of lines that Snake can choose to end this game with, and he's just trying to find the one that has the highest chance, I'm assuming. Because, yeah, it's going to be randomly spending 2 force for the UA. Checks that discard one more time. Strikes with EX Batronado. There's a focus there. Unfortunately, the focus means that you can't push. So this is what, a 4, 5, 6. Wait, is it 7 power? Whatever. Is it 7 power? Why is that math so hard for me? That's definitely not 7 power. Why is that math so hard for me? Batronado. Okay, Batronado. EX Batronado is 4. That's definitely not 7 power. Was that 7 power? Why? Sorry, brain don't work. It's Friday night. Brain don't work. I mean, game's probably over anyway. They've already got their stuff. I'm pretty sure it's not. Pretty sure it's not 7 power though. Oh, it was 7 power because of the UA. I'm an idiot. Okay, good. I'm an idiot. Anyway, I mean that game was long done anyway. Game 2, we're gonna see Champ bring out the Rachel. I did not know Champ played Rachel. And Snake gonna be bringing out that Zato. So Zoner versus kind of Zoner. Zoner versus Puppet. It's kind of a Puppet Zoner. Rachel. I mean, Rachel can be played as Zoner. Rachel can also kind of Brawl sometimes as well. I'll take a look at the Rachel UA here. Once per turn, spend up to 2 force to close and retreat, then take another action. Snake says, I'm going to believe this is not a hard matchup for Zato. I think Rachel actually performs pretty well into a good number of Season 7 characters. Just like moving, take another action is pretty good. Above curve stuff. Decent character. Recursion as well. But anyway, yeah, so she can place lightning rods on the board. Those lightning rods have the ability of the opponent lands on them as an after, not as a cleanup, so it's an after. Rachel can return that card to her hand to deal 2 non-lethal damage. To Zato, so Zato of course has a puppet named Eddie. Zato places Eddie on the board courtesy of normals with an after. And then when Eddie's placed on the board, specials and ultras are calculated from Eddie and have hit gain advantage. Rachel's kit here, above curve, range 3, speed 6 option with a sustain on it, like very, very solid card. Lobelia on curve with a push, right? So basically super reliable card at range 3, but also fireball, so it is a 4 special, but very, very good card. Spike drop IA. IA, Checkmate Tool, Lotus Barrel, also a very good boost. Tiny Lobelia, another fireball here. This one's only 4 speed, but has a little bit of guard on it, which will probably matter into Zato. Just because Zato will be doing some range shenanigans. Electric Chair. She has a really quirky 7 guard move. With hit draw 1, focus like 5 power as well. Tempest Dahlia, really solid ultra, always gonna hit. Generally, you pair this with a pushing them onto a lightning rod to deal 7 total damage, popping cards with only 6 guard. Baden Lily, this is the ultra that I personally always forget exists. If you're standing on a lightning rod, you always have to be worried of a 6-speed ultra just coming to outspeed and ruin your day. And for Zato here, we'll take a look at the Zato kit. We have Pierce, which again, all these moves can be from Eddie, so we're not going to be looking at these cards in the context of speed curves so much, because they could just be functionally just fireballs, right? But Pierce, range 1, speed 6, leap 1 to 3, 4, 5. So this card always hits. At worst, it's an assault like. Invite Hell, 5 power fireball. So what we're looking at here. That's a lot. Slow guarded move reminiscent of card like Ice Spike, Ice Blade, whatever the Jin card is. I don't know, the Jin Fireball. We have the IG option here, Ignore Guard, and the Dan Fang. Your mix-up option. We have Oppose, so this one actually doesn't remove Eddie from from play during cleanup. So normally Eddie gets removed, right, when you use this ability, but not with Oppose, and not with Sun Void either. Sun Void, reminiscent of a card like Conbrio for Carl Clover. It's your speed 7 option, does cost 2 gauge, only 3 power, but important for those mix-ups, as we see Zato boost dash, moves to the range 1, and Rachel in response boosts initiative, +1 speed. Hit, you may draw 1 or gain advantage. The last card is Amorphous. Amorphous is a little bit of a trick shot, in my opinion. Reminiscent of a card like was it Deep Reflection? Deep something, Deep Revenance? Deep something in Chaos's kit. Chaos from Season 6, that is. A good boost, though. Or good boost if you can get it going. As we see Snake just prepare into the initiative boost back to Rachel here. Rachel can just jump back and strike with +1 speed now, right? Spending 2 force to do so. So Rachel's a little bit of an expensive character, right? A lot of her stuff does cost resources, so she's a little bit of a resource-intensive character. Probably one of the more, if not the most technical character in Season 5 to play. Definitely up there, with the likes of 9. In my opinion, this is a pretty difficult character to play really well. But her ceiling is quite high. And in fact, it's going to be jump back strike here for Rachel, using the UA, or jump back strike with +1 speed. Range 3 mix up incoming here. It's going to be a 6-speed flying Lobelia. Zato just attempts to not get pushed from the Lobelia, and also gets Eddie on the board, right? So this like is decent for Snake. Rachel will get advantage, of course, but whatever card used as force for the flying Lobelia will be placed face down on the board as the lightning rod. Zato will come into play. It'll be a 1 damage flying Lobelia. Looks like Spike Drop was used as the card to validate here. And lightning rod over there. Why? Sometimes these lightning rods, it's actually, at least for me, maybe just because I'm not super well versed in Rachel gameplay, it's just, unless they put it right on top of you, or like 3 spaces, or like say like you're at range 8 and they put 3 spaces in front of you to counter or boost like a run. Sometimes it's really difficult to see why a lightning rod is placed where it is. In this case, Champ answers the question right away. It looks like he's boosting the Sylphied Flight. Advances to that lightning rod that he placed at range 2, and probably just going to strike with Cross now. Although that's going to leave Rachel only 1 card, so maybe not. Actually boosts that second copy of Spike Drop. Puts the Bane Lily... Oh, okay, we're making a bit of a mess here on the board. Boosts Bane... Puts that Bane Lily underneath Zato here. Eddie now kind of on the wrong side of the action, right? Rachel's all the way over here on long side of board, and Eddie's just in the middle of nowhere. Which is a little bit unfortunate. However, Eddie can be repositioned courtesy of another normal, right? So not the end of the world. So there's a Bane Lily underneath Zato right now, and I believe there's a Spike Drop underneath Rachel. And it's just going to be Eddie striking here. Not surprised that this is just Cross. It is. Rachel Wild Swing's Focus will take 1 damage. Eddie gets repositioned. The repositioning occurs on an afters, so Snake orders his afters such that he places Eddie down first and then retreats out of the way. So 1 damage to Rachel, who now have to contend with Eddie. The easiest way to contend with Eddie in this position is just stand on top of him. Right, Eddie only has 1 card that works when you stand on top of him. It's the Oppose. Rachel does technically have counterplay. At range 5, she has second copy of Flying Lobelia, but that's not fast enough. It's actually going to be... Okay, so it's going to be Rachel spending 1 force in the form of dive to retreat to range 6, where a card like Tiny Lobelia hits for Rachel and nothing else. And then it's going to be just a jump back prep for Rachel. Back to Zato here. Zato at range 2 means a leap hits, and that's a lot hits. I think those are the only 2 cards that hit. So Leap. Leap actually beats Tiny Lobelia because Leap pushes Tiny Lobelia out of the way. Tiny Lobelia, or Rachel, we push back to range 7. Oh, looks like Snake going for a change cards action here, though. I think this is what you have to. Sometimes you have to do these and perform these in kind of these supposed bad matchups. You really want to get to the cards that are impactful right away when you have the opportunity to take advantage of that. It looks like, yeah, Snake going to be changing card 6, drops 1 copy of Slash, 1 copy of Dust, and 1 copy of each Ultra to draw 7 cards, and has to discard 2 for end of turn. So really, really aggressive change cards action here from Zato. Like, super aggressive, wow. Drops a Grasp, and has to drop 1 more card, I believe. But yeah, like we were saying, Leap is an option for Eddie here that just kind of beats everything that Rachel throws. Of course, it pushes Tiny Lobelia away. Although you still do that, get that cleanup effect of placing another lightning rod down. But in fact, it's going to be Snake discarding Grasp and Dive. Of course, when Zato exceeds, and maybe this is a matchup where you do exceed. This will be the electric chair boosted underneath Zato. So if Zato ends a strike on that space, he takes 1 damage, and the boost is sustained. But like what I was saying, say Zato strikes here, builds gauge number 2. This restriction of placing Eddie in a space within the attack's range goes away when you exceed, right? And I think maybe that would be a valuable thing in this matchup. Kind of force Rachel to move. It definitely would force Rachel to move in. Right? It means Rachel can't be this far away. And yeah, it looks like Snake going just for that plan. Probably striking with a leap here. Unfortunately, that lightning chair will sustain itself, but I think that's a small price to pay for making sure you get that this guaranteed hit in. I guess in theory, it could be that's a lot. That's a lot advances Eddie as well. Although that's a lot means you do get hit by Lobelia. So it is Snake. Snake just playing the leap, pushing out of the way the Lobelia, pushing Lobelia out of the way. So we have 4 damage and coming to champ. Eddie draws 1. And Snake will take 1 damage, courtesy of the Ivy Blossom at cleanup. Tiny Lobelia, of course, misses, but can be placed face down as a lightning rod marker from ranges 3 to 6. Snake, of course, will gain advantage, courtesy of Eddie here. And Champ just deciding where to put the lightning rod. Don't think it... Decides to put it at range 5. It's the lightning rod. Lightning rod goes off, and... Excuse me, the Ivy Blossom goes off. Eddie gains advantage. I don't know if you exceed at 7 cards here. I'm assuming Snake's going for an exceed plan. Can also, in theory, just place Eddie down with multiple boosts, right? Vanish in Dark, although it's not... A negative edge is the boost that we're looking at here, that places Eddie back down on the board. But in fact, it's going to be the Fly-By Night. Fly-By Night is move 1, and add a card from hand to gauge. Or, I guess, technically it's optional, but does add a card from hand to gauge, immediately cancels it into prep. Zato still at range 6, and in fact it's going to be another Ivy Blossom plays down. underneath Zato. I'm surprised Zato did not exceed there. Maybe Zato's other plans for his gauge. But this fly-by night looked like a really good opportunity to lower your hand size a little bit and then just exceed afterward. But I admittedly am not. I'm not a Zato player. I've had Zato played into me. I think Migo played Zato into me a bunch. I didn't find the character to be particularly strong. I'll be honest. I think it's one of the weaker picks in season 7. But I've not. I don't even think I've played a game as Zato before. Maybe I played one. I don't know. I can't remember. But it's going to be that negative edge boost as we were talking about earlier. That's going to be placing Eddie into any space, and it's going to be cancelled as well. Are we striking right away? It looks like we are. We're at range 3, so it's going to be leap as an option, or that's a lot. It's an option. Rachel's blocks, and in fact it is that's a lot. It's going to be 5 damage incoming. Champ deciding on whether to spend force on this block. Probably spends 1 force. Takes 1. Both Bin lilies are down, so it might be difficult to spend an ultra here. Zato, of course, will have to choose his range afterward. Does he continue to stand on the Ivy Blossom, or does he return an Ice Spike? Surely he advances 0 here. Yeah, almost surely. Champ discards a Tempest Dahlia, takes no damage. Eddie drops off the board. Champ takes 1 damage. The other Ivy Blossom drops on cleanup. And it is once again Snake's turn. Snake preps again. Changes his mind. Snake and boosts Let's Rock instead. So Snake at range 6 again from Rachel. Rachel with only 3 cards in hand just spent a 3rd Ultra, so I don't think we're going to be seeing any aggressive play here from Rachel. Almost assuredly we're not, I feel like. Rachel does build the first gauge. Surprised Champ is taking a while on this turn. I would assume it would just have to be a prep, but looks like Rachel maybe considering a more maybe a UA and then a second action. Maybe choose a better range for her. Would be my only guess as to why Champ's thinking here. In fact, looks like it's a jump forward and strike. Okay, so at range 5, we're just looking at second copy of Flying Lobelia. Or second copy of Tiny Lobelia. I'm actually shocked a strike is happening here. This is really aggressive. But maybe it pans out. I feel like if Snake just has a block, he plays it, builds 3rd gauge, and then is able to succeed with a gauge left. Although Maybe I'm harping too much on the succeed for Zato. Maybe he actually doesn't need it, but I feel like just the way this game's been going, Zato really wants to succeed. But yeah, again, the options we're looking at: Flying Lobelia, which would, or a Tiny Lobelia. And yeah, in fact, it is Snake just playing block here. Takes the 1 damage. Flying Lobelia gets validated with the block from Gage. Champ with only down to 1 card in hand, unfortunately. Because this block has no range, on front side, Zato cannot actually place Eddie down. The electric chair drops, but the block gets placed as a lightning rod underneath Eddie here. Eddie looks like he just takes the 1 damage. If Eddie has another one of those move 1 boosts, it'd be great, but no, just has to spend a force to move 1. Don't want to be caught on a lightning rod just randomly there. Rachel, of course, at 1 card, just has to prep. And now Zato gets to exceed. Okay. Sure. Of course, that Zato exceed side, your normals have after you may place Eddie in any space. So really grants you that flexibility, which I think you definitely need in this matchup. Especially this style of Rachel that's just sitting really far away and attempting to snipe. Well, this style of Rachel will probably have to move in soon. Both Flying Lobelias are down, although they can be recurred, obviously. 1 Tiny Lobelia is down, and 1 Tempest Dahlia is down. So Rachel's going to have to move in at one point or another. Champ just taking a look at those lightning rods. There are 4 on the board right now. They are like face down, but they're also known, so just take a look at them. I think they're face down for like visibility purposes, if I'm not mistaken. Just so you don't have like, because Rachel has random boosts that she does put on the board, so. I mean, Snake thinks about playing that card. Puts it back, thinks about it, and boosts it once more. It's going to be Drunkard Shade canceled into a CC3. Drops a second copy of Amorphous and the second copy of Dust to draw 3. So attacks at range 4 do not hit you. At the start of your turn, add this to your gauge. Gets tacked, so now Zato does not have his gauge anymore. It's a little bit rude. Yeah, the snake says, yeah, that's rude. I agree. Yeah, don't want Zato to have a gauge here for cancels. Well, it's gonna be Snake checking that Rachel discard. Full hand. 5 in deck for Zato, 9 in deck for Rachel. Of course, Zato with not 1 but 2 change cards actions over the course of the game. It's going to be that negative edge boosted once more, placing Eddie at range 1 from Rachel. And of course, with no gauge, just has to enter. Wouldn't be surprised to see Rachel jump forward and boost light here. Seems like the counterplay. So spend 2 force for the UI, obviously, and then boost light. Seems like really, really strong counterplay to this Eddie placement. I don't know how many Ukemis are left for Zato. I know 1 is down. I don't know if the second one is down. Okay, it's going to be Rachel using that UA. Drops a spike and drops an assault. Moves up to range 3. Second action, runs to the corner. I don't understand. I mean, Eddie's just out in the middle of nowhere, I guess, but doesn't this give Sato just free reign to run away? Does Sato have... Sato kind of has runaway boosts. Not really. Yeah, I guess he doesn't have any more. I guess I thought he had a runaway boost, but I guess he kind of does. He has this, but it's only advanced retreat 2. It's season 7, so he doesn't have backstep, obviously. I think if you have backstep and you're Sato, you just mash that. But I'm surprised by Rachel taking corner here. Really surprised by Rachel taking corner here. Yeah, I don't really know. I don't really know what the plan is from Champ here. I'll be honest. I'm a little bit confused. It's gonna be an EX strike from Snake. What EX is this? EX sweep? EX. I don't think it's EX Pierce, but it could be. EX Dan Fang? No, it's not EX Dan Fang. I think an EX sweep is the main thing to look out for here. Unfortunately, we don't do the card tracker. I've just been too lazy to implement season 7 cards onto it, so maybe someday. Yeah, Eddie down 21 cards. This, I think sweep's the only option we haven't seen yet. It is going to be the EX sweep from Eddie. It's going to be responded to with a grasp. So the grasp will at least recur a lightning rod here. So lightning rod will be recurred. That's going to be that Baden Lily returning to hand for a total of 4 damage after armor. And EX sweep, of course, will hit back for 7. Notably, that Baden Lily does not get pulled out. Because the lightning rod gets recurred afterward. Okay, players just checking their health totals. Did Snake at 26 before? Maybe. I don't know. I try to trust them. Well, okay. Rachel does have 2 gauge for Baden Lily. Again, I still don't quite understand this positioning from Rachel, but I don't know. Maybe she had to do what she had to do. But Rachel did put herself into the corner. Champ just checking the discard pile for Zato. Of course, Zato has 5 in hand, 4 in deck, so starting to run thin on those options. Rachel with 2 in hand, 8 in deck. It is Rachel's turn, I believe. Eddie gets placed at range 1 from Rachel. Forgot to mention that. So, I mean, your speed 6 options are up. As well as your slow. And then your mid speed. So, full... I believe the full suite of options is up for... Maybe Oppose is not up, but maybe Dan Fang and Pierce are. Do I get to know what you put back into your hand? Technically, yes, because it was known information. Because, yeah, it was the Bin Bin Lily. I don't know. I don't know. We'll just allow it. I mean, technically, like, he did, like, show him the card, so. It was known information beforehand, so. Still known information. Technically, you should, like, show it to your opponent, but Champ did. I think Snake just missed it. Anyway, it is Rachel's turn here once again. Rachel with Bin Bin Lily and one unknown card in hand. I have no idea what she's going to be engineering with this. Champ again, second game in a row, just really low on resources. This is a player that does not like to play with a high hand size. I think we noticed this in Summer Bash as well, when we casted his top 8 match against who? It was going to be the Sylphie Flight boosted, Advanced Retreat. Okay, so Champ runs in the corner, eats EX Sweep, and then runs out of the corner. Okay, fine. Sure, yeah, that's okay, yeah. Second action will be, I mean, we are avoiding Eddie right here with this play, but it's just the optics of it are a little bit amusing to me, I will say. It's gonna be a jump back strike. Okay, jump back strike here. Not a whole lot of options as to what this could be. 1 in hand, 8 in deck. Technically, you do have range 3 mix up. I don't know. I feel like as Zato, you're totally fine here. Like, you don't care. What this is, and it's going to be pretty difficult for Rachel to build back resources after this. This is just really spending those resources to the next level. Okay, Snake responds with block, and it's just assault. Okay, so 4 damage assault incoming. Snake can spend a force to. Snake can not only spend a force to take no damage, Snake can also reposition Eddie after this strike. Replaces his gauge, takes no damage, and Eddie will drop right on top of Rachel. Okay, interesting. And yeah, does not put it on top of Rachel. In fact, puts it 1 space away. Which makes more sense here. Rachel with advantage will surely just have to prep. Can choose to jump back, prep, I guess, to stand on top of Eddie. Is that actually what Rachel's considering here? To stand on top of Eddie and then prep? It's pretty expensive, but maybe it's worth it. Again, standing on top of Eddie is kind of a really, really good way to just neutralize so many of his threats. Too many of his threats, in my opinion, but as both players check each other's discards. Yeah, Champ finally decides to prep here. So Snake takes a look at those discard, not those face down lightning rods, and then takes a look at the discard once more. 2 in hand, 6 in deck for Rachel now. Snake just checks his own options. 4 in hand, 4 in deck for Zato. And Snake also with the reshuffle action. Get those options back in the deck. I think a good amount of melee options were down for Snake here, so this makes sense. Notably, I will say, unfortunately both Amorphuses are down, but finally this boost could have seen some work. Feel of Fear. Unfortunately, both of them are down, but maybe they'll be up. Maybe. We'll say with Eddie's Eddie's backside, it's kind of trivial to play. It's not trivial, but when Zato exceeds, it's actually way easier for him to trigger just +3 power now strike than I thought it would be. Because you can just place Eddie just like in Kansas and then just strike, and you'll get that +3 power. Huh? Interesting. That's some. I've never seen that before, but there you go. There's some Zato Eddie tech for you. I wouldn't really call it tech. I don't think it's particularly difficult to come up with a line like that. But so we Rachel prepping once more. Preps over reshuffles. 4 and 4 left for Rachel. Surely there are melee options left in this deck for Rachel. I think there maybe like a Grasp left. Maybe the EX sweep is up for Rachel even. I feel like I'm not seeing a sweep all game. Well, I will say probably in this matchup I prefer double light to double sweep, but unfortunately the draw order has been such for Rachel, such that she's drawn her sweeps she's potentially drawn her sweeps while in melee range without a huge amount of force to her name to backstep and then boost light. I don't even know what range 3 mix-up she has left, so. It's going to be Zato boosting Let's Rock. Does Rachel prep one more time? I don't know. Champ looks to strike, takes it back. Goes ahead, boosts defend instead. Oh, not boosting defend. Okay, it's gonna be jump back, second action, jump back strike. The cross is left for Rachel. Is cross even beneficial for Rachel? I mean, no 2 gauge, so Zato can't really do much on a cross except play like a that's a lot, I guess. It is cross. It is opposed, so Eddie will not be removed on cleanup. Will take 1 damage as Rachel flies away to range 5. Build second gauge. But of course, Eddie stays on the board, and with only 2 gauge to your name, I believe both flying Lobelias are down. Again, a card like Leap is just quote-unquote free. Even the Invite Hell looks pretty decent here. Invite Hell actually performs better than that because Invite Hell pops the guard of Tiny Lobelia. Rachel does not have 3 gauge for her Ultra yet, her Tempest Dahlia. So I'm assuming Snake just strikes here. And yeah, there's the strike from Snake. Range 3 options are Leap, and that's a lot. And then, of course, the Invite Hell also works as well. Kind of had to play odds here. Grasp is not going to do it, and it is, in fact, a Leap. Will be 4 more damage to Rachel. Eddie will draw a card. Zato will draw a card, excuse me. Eddie will give Zato advantage. And so far, so good for Zato here. So far, so good. Rachel doing like a lot of like moving to weird places. And it's going to be the negative edge boosted, cancelled. Into strike. Range 1 options for Eddie include Pierce, Leap. The Invite Hell is still an option. And the Damned Fang. Okay, Snake uncancels his boost. And decides not to cancel. I mean, saves the gauge. Rachel doesn't really have a whole lot of resources to do anything anyway. Champ's like, okay. 2 in hand, 3 in deck for Rachel. Like, I guess Rachel can now sit on top of Eddie and then do something, but... Champ preps once more, now 4 in hand, 1 in deck for Rachel. And now, surely Snake will strike here. Saves the gauge. Nope, actually just preps himself. Just kidding. Back to Rachel here. Snake looks like he's trying to ascertain what those last 5 cards are. And now Champ goes for the reshuffle action. We'll bring the Clownish Calendula. Is that how you pronounce that word? Calendula? The Clownish Calendula to hand. I.e. brings the burst to hand, because I don't think we're going to be seeing Clownish Calendula here for Rachel. Other than jump forward light would be a funny play for Rachel to try to hit that Clown's Calendula, but unfortunately it doesn't have the 3rd gauge, right? Anyway, Zato with the full hand here. Almost surely strikes, right? You want to strike before those options get those range options get redrawn for Rachel. And yeah, just gonna be a singular strike here. Range 1 options for Eddie include Pierce, Leap, Invite Hell still works here, and Damned Fang, and Oppose as well. And it's the Damned Fang. It's gonna be block for Rachel. Calls it out with the Ignore Guard. Eddie gains advantage. Rachel, funnily enough, gets put into range where that Clownish Calendula actually hits with 3 gauge. But Rachel drops a sweep. Takes no damage, of course. It would be Snake's advantage. Snake draws 2 as well. Almost assuredly strikes again. Rachel down to just 3 cards in hand. One of them is that Clownish Calendula. It's only 2 cards, really. Although it would be funny if Clownish Calendula somehow got play, right? If somehow Rachel had 2nd copy of Light, just boosts it, and then Zato doesn't move for some reason. That would be funny. Don't think it's gonna happen, it would be funny. Snake with a full hand, so surely will be boost canceling or just striking. So it's gonna be a badass cancel. Break the law can't break the law. So this gives Snake dodging properties with an after. Also after move 1 or 2, and then strike. So has an EX, so can be above curve here. This can just be a whole bunch of options because Snake reshuffled not a while ago. Now, range 3 mix up here for Zato as well. Wild Swing Dive is definitely not going to cut it. And it is just Slash. So Lightning Rod won't go off because Dive does not have an after. It's stunned. So it'll be 5 damage incoming. And then Snake gets to pick his range as well. Must move 1 or 2. Yeah, makes sense. Just trying to avoid running into that Lightning Rod. Just in case Rachel Watson was slow. Snake not really sure where he wants to move though, which is interesting. Snake wants to maintain range 1, so take short side of board? No. Snake wanted to avoid the Lightning Rod, but didn't actually just know where he wanted to go. I don't know why he didn't know where he wanted to go. The EX Assault almost assuredly was going to hit 1000% of the time. Okay, moves to range 2. Ratio down to just 9 HP. Again, only 3 cards in hand. One of them still that Clownish Calendula. Eddie gets placed at range 1 behind Rachel. Takes it back. Plops her down. Feel of Fear is now up. Although I don't think Snake has it, because I feel like he would have just plopped Eddie down like that right away. Okay, what? Okay. Snake considering where to put this Eddie. I think range 1 behind makes a lot of sense. Turn this boost on. Back to Rachel here. Rachel definitely needs the cards. I'm assuming a burst is in order. There's no world where Rachel jumps back and then reads something and plays Clownish Calendula, right? Yeah, no world. Clownish Calendula will be used as burst. For those of you unfamiliar with Blaze Blue mechanics, all Blaze Blue characters have an astral heat that they acquire once they reshuffle. This counts as another ultra. Except all these ultras, for every character, they share the same boost called bursts, which is just draw 2, take steal this, take another action. So you delay your reshuffle by a turn, technically, right? Because you spend your reshuffle drawing this. But then you get the reward of 2 cards instead of 1 on the turn after. So a little bit of a double-edged sword there, but works out fine for Champ here because he wasn't anywhere close to dying. Draws 2, and then second action will be, I don't know. Second action will just be prep. So yeah, draws 4 cards that turn. Full reload. Healthy hand size. Are we gonna see a Feel of Fear here now? Did Snake draw one? Nope, just opposite strike. Again, range 1 options include Pierce, Sleep, although I think this is just cross from Zato here. It is cross. Rachel mitigates some damage with the focus, takes 1 damage, we'll draw a card. Eddie gets repositioned. Eddie will now sit on top of, will sit on range 1 on the other side. Now threatening the speed 6 option, but Rachel has 3 gauge of her own, right? So now she can finally, after all this time, threaten a card like Tempest Dahlia. Rachel is at range 5 right now, so this is actually the perfect range for it. But it's going to be Lotus Barrel boosted. It's going to be choose a card from your discard pile, place it face down as a lightning rod marker. Chooses to place a lightning rod in the form of focus right underneath Zato. Draws friend of turn. Again, like, this is such a huge threat here. The Tempest Dahlia. 6 speed. This card just absolutely destroys Eddie, right? I mean, Eddie can deal with it with the Sun Void at least, 7 speed. Or the Pierce. But very, very good ranged Ultra. In a lot of cases. Nearly every case, really. Back to Snake here. Can't just willy-nilly strike. Well, you can. You can initiate a strike here if you're Snake. Takes a look at that strike, takes it back. Of course, Baden Bin Lily is another Ultra that's also available at 6 speed. Strikes with a singular card, can go up to 7 speed with the Sun Void. Can just be 6 speed Pierce. Champ has to call the mix up. Technically, Zato can go slow as well, but Champ just has to call the mix up here. Could be Oppose even. Oppose actually has enough defenses to withstand a Tempest Dahlia with 1 lightning rod behind it. Yeah, Oppose is actually a pretty good option, all things considered. But I think it's going to be fast here. It's going to be a Spike from Rachel. Spike from Rachel. Spike from Rachel. What does Spike from Rachel do? I don't know what Spike from Rachel does. Oh, Spike from Rachel has enough guard to pull the lightning rod back? Okay. Sure. It's interesting. Calls out the Pierce specifically, I guess. Pierce and Sun Void, sure. It's a cute little play from Champ. We'll deal 2 damage back with the lightning rod. Takes 3. Pierce, of course, gains advantage. Will not get the after draw 2 clause either. And it's going to be an expenditure of 2, 3 force in the form of Sun Void and Leap from Gauge to move to range 1. Rachel can, of course, just jump back strike, right? In fact, jump back strike looks especially good here because there's a lightning rod 2 spaces away from Zato. Jump back strike into a Tempest Dahlia looks pretty lethal. Not lethal, literally, but you know what I mean. It says it's going to be the electric chair boosted. Oh, no, it's not. I don't know. I don't like when Champ does that. No, spends 1 force for the UA to retreat 1 and then strike. 1 crosses down. I don't know if this is second cross or not. 1 spike is down as well. There's a mix up. I guess you can go undercurrent with something like an assault, technically, but I don't know what this. I actually don't know what this is. Can't really figure it out. Is it just cross? It is just cross. And Zato plays sweep, it'll be 3 damage. Alright, apologies. Just, we'll have to return a phone call soon. Anyway, looks like Eddie gets placed at range 3, courtesy of the sweep. Sweep, of course, not stunned, so this after goes off. And just a strike here. Range 1 means Pierce is in play, again, Leap is in play. It's going to be a focus, and it's going to be a Sun Void, so it's going to be 1 damage incoming. Eddie, of course, not removed from the board. And it's going to be text at range 4, do not hit you into a strike again. So those are range options. Those the Tempest Dahlia and the Lobelias no longer work here. Does Rachel have a block? Otherwise, if Rachel doesn't have a block, I think this could be the end. Leap is lethal. That's a lot is misses, sorry. Dan Fang's lethal. I have a feeling this is just Leap. Could even just be Dive, funnily enough. Just like a Dive here works pretty well with this boost in play. The setup feels nigh unbeatable unless you have a block. Focus mitigates some damage, but I think both focuses are down. Champ feeling desperate here. Baden Bin Lily doesn't work. And yeah, that's gonna be it. That's gonna be GG. Leap will finish things off for Snake. Takes the 2-0 victory over Champ. Snake moves to 3-1. Champ drops down to 2-2. Sorry for the abrupt ending, but oh wait, hold on. Wait, why? What's going on here? Yeah, no, that's not gonna work. That's the one that works. Looks like Champ plays the wrong ultra here. Yeah, Rachel stuff, right? Rachel plays a fast thing, pushes you, and then stuns you by putting up the rod. But not what Champ played, so unfortunately the set is over. Sorry for the abrupt ending, but I gotta go. I'm getting a phone call. And I will see you at the next one, whenever that may be. Bye, guys.